Gurube Gaurachandra Radhika Tadai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Shri Vasavana Vidave Devta Yetapade Krishna Sambandha Vigyanayane Prabhave Namaha Madhu Jadvala Pramadhya Sirupayo Gavantya Sudhara Kundana Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravane Shrimurtaye Dinatani Rupanuga Viruda Prabhupad Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasinubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Pancha Tatpatmatam Makam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Surupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Om Bhaktisiddhanta Nandiswami, Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta, Narayan Gosai Maharaj. Today is the Tiruvavati Diva Shiksha Guru, Nityanila Prishna Vishnupad, Srimad Gauravinda Gosai Maharaj. And of course, the appearance day of Jagat Guru Nandiswami, Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, Prabhupad. So morning time we'll speak about Srila Prabhupada. Evening time, a little bit we'll speak about Srila Gopal Maharaj. So, what can we say? Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj said, my Gurudev was Vaikuntha man. So, all Vaishnavas have accepted him as eternal associate of Gaura Hari. So we're hearing about his life and his contribution. So I must say everything now is very easy because of his activities. He said Bhaktivinoda Thakur counted 13 Upper Sampradayas. Aul, Baul, Jati Gosai, Guru Kapta, Nedha, don't forget the famous Sakhi Bakis, Gauranga Nagaris. Even you say their name, your tongue turns black and falls out. People were thinking, Gurudev said, people were thinking this is Gaudiya Vaishnavas. In the name of Parikya Bhajan, taking some other man's wife, or smoking ganja, Haribol. Magarumache Jo Yudapitiko Lenda Hari Haribol. The Sahajas would say, take some young girl on your lap, eat fish sabji, and chant Haribol, Haribol. People thought this was Gaudiya. Therefore, educated and refined persons, thinking this is the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, avoided Gaudiya Vaishnavism. No. But Sarasvati Thakur, taking the conception of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, showed perfectly what is Gauravani. We said that he is the Murtiman, the personification of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Actually, this Param Gurudev wrote one article against his godbrothers. Two so-called godbrothers, Sundarananda and Ananta Vasudeva. Heavy, strong article. Therefore, his godbrothers gave him the name Prasanta Gajai Kasingha. He is the lion who kills the elephant-like offenders. Okay, Prabhupada, try and stay away. So how strongly he wrote. Param Gurudev made a list of 50 Upper Sampradayas. And how many are now? Radhe Kunj, who can count? Who can count? So Prabhupada, whole life struggled against these personalities. Because this is Kali Yuga, this is their time, their place. They find so much strength in this age. So we heard from Maharaj this morning how at young age he took mantra for the worship of Kurma deity and chanting Harinam, and he would go to all the lectures. Gurudev would say, people are astonished how a small boy can have so much taste in Harikatha. And I think at the age of 7 he began editing the books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We are 50 or 60, cannot understand the books of Bhaktisiddhanta. At the age of 7, he was editing them. You can imagine what type of genius he was. There was one professor of astronomy. The mother of astrology is astronomy, the position of the planets. So, at very young age, Saraswati Thakur had some debate with one person who was the Dean of Astrology of Calcutta. Then Bimal Prasad at that time so strongly defeated him. In the middle of the assembly, that man passed stool in his pants. Can you imagine? At that time, they gave him the name Siddhanta Saraswati. Saraswati being the goddess of learning. At that time, they reserved the chairmanship of astronomy for him. They kept that chair empty. And as long as he had not taken sannyas, that chair remained empty. Because who would sit there as long as Bimal Prasad was in this world? So, Gurudeva said he had many, many obstacles. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, very happy to see at least, especially there was one debate. Maharaj a little bit discussed, who is a Brahmin? At the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this became a very strong thing because everything had been captured by the caste Goswamis. The caste Goswami, we are the descendants of Nityananda. We are the descendants of Advaita. So they would say, we are the real line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like the Goswamis established Radharaman, Sanatana Goswami established Radharaman, Sri Gopal Bhatta established Radharaman, Radha Mohan by Sanatana Goswami. But they are Paramahamsas. Hadade Brajadevike Chalalite He Nanda Sunokudo Sri Govardhan Kalpapata Tate Kalindi Bamyakudo Goshantar Viti Savata Brajapuri Kader Mahavivalo Bande Rup Sanatano Riguri Sujiva Gopala. The Goswamis established temples then, Haribol, they left. And every night under different trees, sometimes Radhakund, sometimes Govardhan. And day and night, Hey Radhe, Brajadevike, Chalalite, Hey Nundas, Nanda Sunokudo, where are you? Kedevi, always burning in separation. So they made some disciples, some brahmanas, put them as pujaris. They married, had children, that child, the son became the next pujari. In this way they said, we are the line of, we are the line of Nityananda, we are the line of Gopal Bhatta. Then question comes, Rupa Goswami, where's his position? He is not the son of like any of them. So what connection we have with Rupa, what connection this parampara has with Rupa Goswami? Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam. Second question, Lord Chaitanya not had any children? So many questions come in this thing. This is called Bap Beta Parampara. My father was Guru, after him I am the next Guru, because his father was Parampara. Saraswati Thakur preached so much against these persons. Saraswati Thakur, even though he was a big scholar, he would tell little Upadeshavalis, little histories. He said there was one old Brahmin in a village and he said, all my family can only drink from this well. This well had cholera, dead frogs and dead fish and dead snakes, and that water was completely rotten. He said, no, my father drank from this well, and his father also drank from this well. I drink from this well, and my descendants will also drink only from this well. So Prabhupada said, it could be 100 years ago this water was very sweet and good, but now it's rotten. Why should we drink that and die of cholera? So in this way he rejected the caste Goswami line and established again this Bhagavad Parampara. He gave so much importance to this. This is the line of Paramahamsas, Paramata, Parahamsa Param Paramata Patim Patito Dharane Krita Veshayatim Yatiraja Ganei Porisevya Padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada Padam. Actually Prabhupada is a Paramahamsa. But out of humility he took a position like in Varnashram. Sannyasa is one part of Varnashram. So out of humility to instruct the foolish persons of this world what is real bhajan, then he performed these activities. So much opposition he generated against all these people. Many times they tried to kill him. I heard 6 times they made some effort against his life. They approached one policeman. We will kill Saraswati Thakur. Don't take any action. Then policeman came to Prabhupada. Of course he said, we are police, we do these things. But I cannot do this against the sadhu. I cannot. So much opposition he generated. From beginning, even before sannyas. There was one personality, Gunamala, try and stay awake. There was one personality named Radharamancharan. So when he left this world, when he died, he said, Bhajanite God Adesham, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Also he established his own disciples, dressing them as Lalita. Many unauthorized activities he did. So Saraswati Thakur at that time was living in Puri. He was preaching against this. His life was threatened. So he had to go to Tripura. He went there, he got a job teaching the only son of the king of Tripura as his tutor. But the son also began wearing tilak and Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. So the queen became afraid. If our only son becomes a Vairagi, like a renunciant, what will happen to our parampara? So they said to Saraswati, just leave, we'll give you a lifetime pension, but just go from here. So this way, to stand up for the truth, he had many obstacles. So even as a young child, he invented his own method of shorthand. He invented one fan. That fan is still there in Swananda Sukhada Kunj. Huh? Saraswati Thakur. 100%. Anyway, many things he did. Then, of course, he took a vow to chant 10 billion names of Krishna. Right? If you chant 3 lakhs a day, that takes 10 years. At our current rate of chanting, that would take us 100 lifetimes. So he would chant 3 lakh of Harinam a day for 10 years. Imagine. It's not some simple, today I have a headache. Not like that. He was so absorbed in chanting Harinam, when it would rain, he had no time to fix the roof of his bhajan kutir. So he had one umbrella, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, wonderful bhajan he performed. His mother, Bhagavati Devi, when leaving this world, she grabbed the hand of her son, promised me you will also preach in the Western countries. So to fulfill the promise he made to his mother, he also endeavored to send preachers to England, to Germany, to Burma, and of course he inspired his own disciples directly to preach. That is like Abhay Charan Aravinda. So many wonderful things he did. Then in, I think, 1916, 1914, Bhaktivinoda Thakur left this world. Also, Gokashadas Babaji Maharaj left this world. Then he had feelings of separation, transcendental depression. Right? Our depression means we stop chanting and sleep until 10 o'clock. His depression was not like that. This is transcendental, like Viraha. That time he was sitting in his bhajan kutia, and he went for a walk, I've heard. He went for a walk, and he saw one bit of paper on the ground. He thought, what is this? It was some copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he picked up a page, and that verse was there. You said it yesterday. Brahmati. Bharata Bhumi Janma Hoilesa Jivan Sata Kori Parupak. Especially one who was born in India has special responsibility to make one's life perfect and to help others. So he read that and he was shaking. This is the order of Mahaprabhu, but I'm not doing anything for others. He's doing bhajan, of course, but not doing prachar. So this was shaking in his mind. Then the next day he was in his bhajan kucha, another piece of paper blew in through the window and stuck to his body. The first piece of paper came on his leg. He was trying to kick it off, but it wouldn't go off. Then he thought, what is this? And the next day, another piece of paper blew in the window. That was Mahaprabhu's instructions to Kurva Brahmana. What is that? Guruhan, Marage Guruhan Tare Desh. On my order become Guru and deliver the world. Then he thought, these are the orders, but I'm not doing. But still some hesitancy was there, because he was so much attached to Nam Bhajan. Then that night, we heard Mahaprabhu came in his dream with all the associates. Oh, Vimal Prasad, wake up, get up, preach. Then he said, how can I preach? I have no money, no men, no knowledge. Then Mahaprabhu said, don't worry, all money, all men, all knowledge will be your servant. I will give you, just preach. The next day he took sannyas. And that name, before was Sarasvati, Siddhanta Saraswati, but he added Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Many Babajis become upset. Oh, what is the parampara of Gaudiya Math? How could you take sannyas by yourself? And question comes, who Sanatana Goswami took sannyas from? Vairag, Vesh. Normally one should take Vesh and everything from Vesh, Guru, sannyas Guru. But who Sanatana Goswami took sannyas from? That time when Mahaprabhu visited Varanasi, Sanatana Goswami was there. He just escaped from jail. So he was still looking like a Muslim. Then Mahaprabhu said, Mahaprabhu embraced him, everything. But not too much impressed by all this. So Mahaprabhu said, Bhadra, you should become Bhadra, become beautiful. So he shaved his head and beard, and then he took one old dhoti from his sister's brother, Chandrasekhar. He ripped it up and put it on, Haribol, that was his sannyas. Who did Rupa Goswami take renounced daughter from? This is not recorded anywhere. Who did Haridas Thakur take it from? Ramanujacharya also took sannyas from himself. Right? Took diksha from Mahapurna, but sannyas, everyone knows in Sri Sampradaya, he took sannyas from himself. If there's a qualified person, one may take directly from a qualified person, but no qualified person, what can you do? Haribol. So, he also followed in the footsteps of Sri Ramanujacharya. Madhavendra Puri took from sannyas from a Mayavadi. Is Madhavendra Puri a Mayavadi? Is his sannyas not bona fide? Madhvacharya also did like that. Many examples are there. No? So all these things are rubbish. So very carefully looking at, because so much prominence of Mayavad sannyas was there. So taking many, many instructions, especially from Sri Sampradaya. Very strong proponents of Tridandi sannyas, also accepted the renounced order, and he established his Daivi Varnashram. Of course, Mahaprabhu said to Ramananda Roy, this Varnashram dharma is external. Charivana kori jadi Krishna nahi bhaji, se jana koi narakera bhaji. Even if one perfectly follows all Varna and Ashram, but does not do Krishna bhajan, he still goes to hell. So of course we are not promoting that type of lifeless Varnashram. Vishnu Bhakti Heen Varnashram. Saraswati Thakur tried to establish this Devi Varnashram. Because many so-called persons just wearing some white cloth, they think we are Paramahamsas. Okay, Sharma still awake? So to stop this nonsense, Saraswati Thakur tried to give some structure to this Gaudiya teachings. So he took sannyas in 1916, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. 1918. Okay. Then gradually he collected young boys, very young, gave them red cloth and preached. Many revolutionary things he did. Before, sannyasis would not wear stitched cloth or shoes. They could not travel in vehicles. But Saraswati Thakur did all this and showed what is Yukta Vairagi, appropriate renunciation. Huge temples he built, like Yogapit, so huge, right? Bagh Bazaar, many 64 temples he opened. And not just in Bengal,
But everywhere, Orissa, South India, Delhi, Bombay, everywhere he did like this. He talked about the 3 mridangas. The first is the clay mridanga. The sound of the mridanga goes 20, 30 meters. Then he said there is also the Chaitan mridanga, the sannyasi. Not that you should beat them, but the conscious mridanga, the sannyasi who vibrates Haridwani, topics of Krishna. Then very revolutionary, he said the Brihat mridanga, the printing press, which will spread Harikatha thousands of kilometers all across the globe. So in a very wonderful way, he revolutionized Harikatha like that. He made a daily newspaper, right? Weekly newspapers, monthly newspapers, as well as printing all the books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, writing his own Anubhashya commentary, Chaitanya Charitamrita, also the Srimad Bhagavatam. Also we're reading now the commentary of Sarasvati Thakur, the Chaitanya Bhagavat. So many, many wonderful, his letters, very brilliant, very wonderful, you read his letters. More than 60,000 disciples he made. And those disciples so high caliber. Bhakti Pragyan Kesam Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Rakshak Srila Maharaj. Try and stay awake. We say their names, we become purified. And that is the disciple. Even the disciples of the disciple, like our Gurudev. So he had many, many opposition. One time I remember, one time he performed Brajamandu Parikram. Many temples would not allow him inside. Now we can go everywhere. That time they wandered everywhere. Then there was one devotee. Everyone said, he is Paramahamsa. He is Mahabhagavat. So somehow Saraswati Thakur met the Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat. Then Saraswati Thakur wondered, Mahabhagavat here, Mahabhagavat there, Mahabhagavat everywhere. Except in our own Sangha, but everywhere else there's Mahabhagavat. But what vision they have? Who has proper vision? Only real Madhyamadikari can see these things. But these days you have more than 10 disciples, you become Mahabhagavat. Or a few grey hairs, automatic Mahabhagavat. And no hairs, Paramahamsa. So we should not be deceived by all these things. No? So Saraswati Thakur, he not lived a long time. No? 1974 he born, appeared, and disappeared 1936. Prema, what's the maths? 36 plus 26 is 62 years old. Very young age he left this world, very young. Srila Gokmaj also left same age, like I think he was 64. I have to do the math. 63. No, 65. 64. So very young age they left. So I just want to a little bit talk about it, because also other speakers will be there now. Now the very intimate relation between, of course, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We heard Maharaj was saying he had other sons, 4 other sons. One was Lalit Prasad. Saraswati Thakur said, Lalit Prasad always sees Bhaktivinoda Thakur as father. He cannot see the function of Guru in him. Therefore Bhaktivinoda Thakur could have given him Diksha, but then he thought, if I do like this, then what's the difference? When they asked him the caste Goswamis. Therefore he sent him to Bhaktivinoda. Bhaktivinoda Thakur requested him taking Diksha from the Gokashadas Babaji Maharaj. And very intimate relationship was there between Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gokashadas Babaji Maharaj. Very wonderful relation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to take like Vairagi, like Babaji Vesh, sannyas. Sannyas have 2 swarup, Gurudev said. One is white cloth, one is red cloth, but there's no difference between them. In white cloth is more inclined to solitary bhajan, and sannyas is more goes to Nananda, preaching to increase the family of Krishna. Ghost means family. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to renounce what he wanted to take from Babaji Maharaj. So when Gokashadas Babaji Maharaj heard this, he became horrified. My Guru Bhaktivinoda Thakur will take mantra, and from me, that is scandalous, terrible. So we thought, where can I hide from Bhaktivinoda Thakur? So there was one section in Navadvip, like the red light district. So Gokasada's Babaji Maharaj, he did the red light district all day. You know, Bhaktivinoda Thakur will never come here looking for me. Then of course Bhaktivinoda Thakur could not find him. Then Gokasada's Babaji Maharaj was so much laughing. I have cheated the Thakur, he said. I have cheated the Thakur. So very, very intimate relation between these old Vaishnavas. Babaji's want to say many things. Gokasada's Babaji Maharaj not really gave Diksha to Sarasvati Thakur. All these rubbish, all these horrible things they say. When all these things happened, they were not even born. How they have so much boldness to be, they have no fear of Vaishnava Parad. So that's where Saraswati Thakur first met Gokasada's Babaji Maharaj. Nighttime he would come and listen to Katar Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was living in Surabhi Kunj. So even though it was late at night, Babaji Maharaj would come, but Babaji Maharaj was pastimes of blindness. Then Saraswati Thakur would ask, oh, Babaji Maharaj, how you came here at night? You cannot see, no boat. Some boy took me across. Now who is that? Gauranga Mahaprabhu himself. So with rapt attention, Gokasada's Babaji Maharaj would listen to the guitar of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There's also one big instruction. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we see we had 11 children and High Court judge. It seems like a materialistic, externally it may seem like a materialistic personality. And Babaji Maharaj, Sakshat Vairagya Murti, the personification of renunciation. Babaji Maharaj is wearing kopan, eating dirt when hungry. But he saw in Bhaktivinoda Thakur something special. Guru Tattva, he saw in Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So this is very wonderful, no? Kivanasi Sundar Kenonoi, Jo Krishna Tattva Veti Se Guru Hoy. Who is Guru? We should judge by some external position? No, we should judge where is Bhakti. So very intimate relation. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur also very intimate relation with Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Saraswati Thakur said, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj left all his renunciation, all his knowledge of the Shastra, everything put in the heart of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And also Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj instructed that time Bimal Prasad to make the Vaishnav calendar. So there's so much, and Gokasada's Babaji Maharaj took pronounced order from the disciple of Jagannath Das, the Guru of like Guru Jagannath Das Babaji, there's a Bhagavad Das Babaji Maharaj. He's disciple of Madhu, his Guru was Madhusudan. So all so much connection between these. Bhagavad Das Babaji Maharaj, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Sri, of course, Bhakti Pragyan Kesar Maharaj. So much thick relationship is there, and this is Bhagavad Prabhupada. Of course, gross materialists cannot understand. They think the Parampara is not a line of bodies. The Parampara is a line of conception, a line of Radhika service. So Saraswati Thakur said, I spent 90% of my life teaching what was not devotion. You know, cutting Saki Bekis, the Sahajas, all these, especially Gauranga Nagaris, all these. People saying the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya is the other side of the Ganga. Many, many opposition he had. No. Therefore, Kripaya Hari Kirtana Mortidaram, Darani Banaharaka Gaura Janam, Janakadika Vatsala Snigda Param, Pranamami Sada Prabhupada, by his Hari Kirtan, he purified this earth planet. And we are so much fortunate. Of course, his internal side is Nayanaman Manjari. He not too much spoke about that. The devotees would say when he was chanting Harinam, he had memorized Vilap Kus Manjali. He would sing these verses of Vilap Kus Manjali as he was chanting and would weep. But of course, this internal side was not revealed too much. Otherwise, again, the Sahaja influence was so strong at that time, it would be like pouring oil on the fire. So this side of him he kept quite internal. But those who were serving him, they could extract this more. So the Naina Manimanjari, the very intimate servant of Radhika, the glance of Radharani. Kada Karisa Sriyamam Kripakataksa Bhajana. Lord Shiva praying for the glance of Radhika. Who is the glance of Radhika? That is Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati. So the maid servants of Radhika, they are worshipful even for Brahma and Shiva. So what can we say? Jagadguru Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Sri Prabhupad Abhirbhava Titi Ki Jai. Nitya Lila Rishi Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Speak something quickly. Speak here so people can watch. No, I want people to listen. Oh, no.
Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. Namam Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Narayan Iti Name. So I beg for the causeless mercy of the dust of the lotus feet of my spiritual master Nitya Prabhupada Vishnu Pada Sutra Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and to the lotus feet of Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, Srimati Krishna Priya Devi, Sannyasi Gan headed by Namada Maharaj, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So we're seeing this wonderful altar, and I feel just so utterly disqualified to be sitting here. So I'm also begging your kind mercy to pray for me that some flow will be able to come. I was very fortunate that one sannyasi from Brazil took me to Bhubaneswar. And Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he wasn't there. But we heard, he spoke so many marvelous things about Gaur Govinda Maharaj, and wanted to hear. And the devotee there had told us many amazing stories about Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj. How he would be absorbed in translating the books of Swami Maharaj, that he would get up and the devotee came in and he was covered in mosquitoes, and his face was just a beaming smile, completely oblivious to his body. So the life of Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj is amazing, from beginning to end, in the middle, everywhere is pure transcendence. He was born in a family of pure devotees. His family lineage were Kirtan Gurus in Jagannath Puri. And I don't know where to start because there's just so much to say. When his father passed, his mother asked him to take on the profession. So he took on the profession of a professor to maintain his family. He got married, got 7 children, and then many of his students later became his disciples. And then it was time for him to renounce, and he went looking for his guru. He went to the Himalayas, he had many wonderful pastimes, and came to Vrindavan, where he got a copy of the Back to Godhead and recognized, and he wanted to meet Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Prabhupad. And at the very first meeting, Prabhupada asked him, who has given you sannyas? He he was looking for a sannyas guru. I will give you sannyas. And the instructions that Gaura Govinda Maharaj got from Srila Prabhupada, he got 3 instructions, main instructions. That was to establish a temple in Bhubaneswar. That was in the middle of the jungle, but Prabhupada said that this would become the center of Bhubaneswar. And the 2 other instructions were to translate his books and then to travel the world and preach. So Prabhupada laid the foundation stone. That was the last project that Prabhupada established. He spent 17 days in Jagannath Puri, stayed in a house, in a hut that Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj built with his own hands. Which, it's in that place that Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj after stayed the rest of his life, in that same hut that he built. So Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj, he would come to Paris when I was living in Paris. And he was just so amazing because he would roar, he would literally scream while giving Harikatha. And he was just blew our mind away. He was very disturbing to the ISKCON authorities at the time because his classes would last hours. And it meant devotees could go out and distribute, sell books. But his katha was just so amazing. And then I remember once that he laughed and he looked at Gaura-Nitai and he says, "Ha! Just see, Gaura-Nitai, they're laughing at me because I'm trying to explain Krishna so completely." And I remember once I asked him, what would it take for you to come to Brazil? Would you come to Brazil? Yes, if you invite me. And I said, okay, invite Srila Prabhupada never went to Brazil. We have to bring a pure devotee to Brazil. And I was in Brazil, beginning with the groundwork, and that was in 1996. And then the news came that he had left this world. And it was just a completely devastating blow. And when I came back to Paris, because I was always wondering, because he would say the next Acharya would manifest in 1996. And we thought it was him. And the minute I arrived in Paris, there was a van coming from Holland with the disciples of Gaura Govinda Maharaj. What are they going to do? You have to hear from the lips of the pure devotee. Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj would always say. So where are they going to go? What are they going to do? And they said, we're leaving in half an hour, we're going to London, we're going to go see Srila Narayan Maharaj. So that was, I feel like I'm completely indebted to Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj for having been connected to Srila Narayan Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Maharaj. And there's one class, a very famous class, that I heard from Jagadish Pandit. But I listened to it this morning. Actually, I had never heard a recorded class of Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj, and it just reminded me how much he was roaring like a lion. And so he said in this class that Swami Prabhupada, he has formed a temple to be, he has formed a model society to be free from envy. Vaishnavas mean to be free from envy. And he was saying, the truth must be spoken. There's a saying that you must speak the truth palatably, but in spiritual circles, one must speak the truth. And then I'm in such a moment where truth must be spoken, even though it does not want to be heard. Unpalatable truth. And then, stop! You cannot speak. It has been decided. And Gaura Govinda Maharaj was describing there is a sword above my head. They want to cut off my head because Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj would speak always on Guru Tattva. And he was actually banned from so many, thank God he wasn't banned in Paris, but he was banned in many zones by the local acharyas, Australia, and many places. So, thank God France was
out of control.
And he quoted, Srila Prabhupada who quoted William Blake. He said, you read the Bible day and night. You read the black, I read the white. And now, we'll fight to make it right. But everything has been decided by voting right. So, that was, he added those last 3 lines that
You added the last one,
So he was saying how he was just living an extremely painful moment where he was praying to decide what to do. And he told the story. He told the story about a king who wanted to fill a pond of milk. So he said, we're in a society with conditioned souls. Conditioned souls mean having in the 4 defects. When you want to make a decision, you have to go to the Mahajans, you have to hear from the spiritual authority. Yeah, so he also told the story of the watchman who had a donkey. His donkey, what was the donkey's name? Sunanda Gandharva. So he was the king's washerman, he was not any washerman. And one day his faithful donkey passed and died. And oh, he felt so sad that Sunanda Gandharva had passed. So he prayed and he said, I should do something special. So, I should bathe in holy waters and I shall shave. So he shaved. And then he met the king's priest. And the king's priest says, you have shaved? Yes. Today is a very auspicious day. The passing of Sunanda Gandharva. The passing of Sunanda Gandharva. And then, so the king's priest also shaved. And then the minister saw the priest and said, you have shaved? Yes. The passing of Sunanda Gandharva. What auspicious day. And then so the king's minister also shaved. And then he went to the king. The king said, you have shaved? Yes, the passing of Sunanda Gandharva. So the king also shaved. The queen was a little more expert. And then she asked the king, who is this Sunanda Gandharva? He said, and she inquired, and she went to the minister, who told you? The priest told me. And went to the priest, who told you? The watchman. She went to the watchman, who is Sunanda Gandharva? He's my donkey. So, we can make our own conclusions. So he said, we accept the Mahajans. Don't fight. We can have different opinions, but don't fight. Accept the Mahajans. Do Hari Bhajan and advance in devotional service, or bhakti will be lost. How long can I tolerate? He said, I am in a dilemma. I cannot decide what to do. I am wanting for direction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he said, Krishna Rakshati, Krishna protect us from this dangerous situation. Because he did not want, Prabhupada told him never to leave ISKCON. So he did not leave ISKCON. He did not want to leave ISKCON. Gurudev said that Gurudev had this freedom, that Gurudev is not controlled by anyone. And that was and it took Gaura Govinda Maharaj 14 years to build the temple that Prabhupada established the founding stone, and it was established in 1991. And it was, the name of the temple is, who knows the name of Gaura Govinda Maharaj's temple in Bhubaneswar? Krishna Balaram. So there's deities of Krishna Balaram, Gaura Nitai, and Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And he said, I have opened a crying school here in Bhubaneswar. Unless we cry for Krishna, we cannot get his mercy. So on the auspicious day, on the auspicious day of the appearance day of Jagat Guru Nitimira Vishnu Vishnu Pada Sutra Sutra Shri Srimachila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur Prabhupad. Two senior disciples of Prabhupada approached Srila Guru Govinda Maharaj and they asked him, why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stay in Jagannath Puri? And then he became so happy with this question. And then he lovingly described the pain of separation that Radha felt for Krishna, and Krishna felt for Radha in separation. And he told the story where Radha and Krishna finally united. This is in Kurukshetra, when Krishna went to Kurukshetra and the gopis went to meet Krishna, they want to bring him back. And this is the new meaning that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to the Rath Yatra festival, is bringing back Krishna. So when